the questions to keep myself aligned. Waste away the hours doing what I should, knowing that my soul tells me it's not for my own good.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? So I'm just jumping on here and I'm doing something new this morning. So I have to, hopefully this all works really, really well. And, oh God, it's not charging again. And I have to try and figure out how to make things work on here. So who knew there was a Facebook app for Windows, right? I did not know that. So now I can actually work on doing this on my computer, because setting everything up every morning is something. So hopefully we are going to, you guys can hear me and the video's going good and looks good from this side. So I'm thinking it's going to be good. So this is a new Facebook app that I've loaded onto Windows 10 PC, which I didn't even know there was such a thing. So hopefully now, because setting up like iPads and lighting and everything in the morning is something. So good morning, Joyanne. This morning, as I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, I decided that day 16 was going to be about the importance of oneness. Okay, the importance of oneness. And interesting, because I'm actually on a dating site, believe it or not, and I'm speaking to a gentleman, and there's like talking. I spoke to a gentleman a little while ago, and it sort of stuck in my mind since I've talked to him, and he said something like, you know, do you care that I am a man of color? And I thought, what an odd question. What an odd question. But it's a thing with people, right? It is a thing with people. We have to stress these things for some reason. So I started trying to think about oneness and the unity of oneness. And there's this poem. There is this poem that says, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a meditation, actually. But the first 5 words are, no man is an island. So no man is an island. I'm going to ask you, Joyanne, if you can hear me, just to give me a thumbs up so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself here. So let's talk about unity consciousness. Unity consciousness has been found in literature going back to ancient times. Okay, so what is unity consciousness? I'm going to give you guys a really neat way to really look at oneness, to understand oneness. Okay, think of, when we talk about ego, first of all, when we talk about ego, we're talking about separateness. Okay, we are talking about being separate. All right? Ego makes us separate. But when we talk about energy, universe, we are very not separate. We are so connected. We are one. And I'm going to illustrate this to you in a very interesting way this morning. So first of all, when we think about separate, we think about, we discriminate against people. Okay, we discriminate. We put up boundaries that say we are separate. You know, they're not good enough for me, or I won't hang out with them, or their culture is not for me, or I'm not interested in those people, or we name call. We say things that are cruel to each other. All right? We separate ourselves in this way. So it's, when we think about where's all this gotten us, where's all this judgment and separateness and name calling and hate, fear, right? All of these things, where has it gotten us? I don't know, we're fighting each other. people are creating bombs to kill each other. This is what we're doing. Okay, this is what ego has created in us being separate. Okay? So let's take a look at our bodies. When we look at ourselves, we see ourselves as an individual, right? Separate from every other individual on this planet. But let's look a little closer. All right, let's look way closer. Inside this body are organs and just these streams of fluid that are running through us. And remember, we're 70% water, right? And then there's blood and everything else. So we have these streams of fluid running through us. And in this fluid are zillions and zillions of life forms, right? There are zillions of life forms inside our fluids. And these life forms, even the invisible bacteria, keep this body together working. Okay, there's reasons for these life forms inside us. So the interesting thing about that is that, okay, since we have all these zillions of life forms inside this body, we're zillions and millions of people living on this planet. So if we think about Earth as a life form, because it is, then each one of us is a world. Each one of us is our own planet. Think about how the cells and everything move around, those electrons and protons and atoms, and how they all function. We have universes inside of us. Right? So we might be living on a planet called Earth, but those zillions of life forms inside of us are living in a planet called Aisha or Joyanne or Barb or Bob or Betty or whomever. Right? And so that means that there is so we said no man is an island. No person is an island. So that means no cell is an island. Because one cell can't exist all by its lonesome. Right? So when we say that no cells are an island, wow, we've got some interesting things going on inside of us, okay? So, and the cells have to work together, just like we are supposed to work together. Our cells are smarter than us, okay? So the cells in our heart may never interact with the cells in our mouth. Okay? But if the cells in our heart begin to diminish, then the whole planet, that is you, begins to diminish. So everything has to work together in unity as one. Okay? I don't know if you've ever thought of it this way, but it is the way that it is. We are so much more than what you see when you look in the mirror or when you look at someone. There is so much more going on. You know, this is one of the things that I'm always talking about with my students and with my clients is like, the way that you get well is by understanding that there is so much more going on, right? And you need to work with all of it together, okay? So, humanity needs to also start working together. If every person on this planet was considered a cell, okay, so I just finished saying if the cells in one part of your organ or one part of your body begins to diminish, the whole body will suffer, okay? So if we looked at every person as a cell, then because this world is the way that it is because these cells are not working together. And we are going to diminish the planet. Okay? It's to me, it's mind-blowing. Joanne saying the same thing. It is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing, but it is definitely a thing. It is definitely the truth. It is the truth. There are some things that you can't say are not true. Right? Water is wet. It's the truth. You know, the sun comes up whether we see it. It's the truth. We breathe air. It's the truth. And we are all one, and it's the truth. And inside, each one of us is our own planet. Okay? Going back to that one native saying, no tree has branches so foolish as to fight among themselves. Right? But we are, as humans, we're very foolish. Okay? We're very foolish. I'm sorry. I don't care how smart we think we are, or what leaders think how intelligent and whatever that they are foolish. Because they don't think with unity consciousness. They think from ego, separate. And they try and they work very hard at keeping us separate. Right? Think of our history. It's all been about hate this person, now hate this person, or when you're done hating that person, now you can love them. How about you hate them now? Right? And oh, you know what? Now we like them. We're going to hate them now. Right? We keep ourselves separate. And then the people who have been kept separate from us, right? I'm going to use an example of the people of color, right? They have been treated horribly, horribly. And we continue to keep them. As much as we've become modern, there are so many of us that still think of us and them. There is no us and them. There is no such thing as us, them, he, she. There just isn't. All right? There is no us and them. We are all one. Right? Hi, Kathy. We are all one. So, if one cell in the body goes to war with a neighboring cell, it will end up destroying the body. That's going to happen. Okay? So just keeping that in mind. So as one person begins to fight with another person, that hate starts to spread like wildfire. And that hate, right? That hate will destroy our planet. Okay? It'll destroy humanity. One way or another, we're not going to win. We're not going to win if we keep that up. All right? So we must cooperate. See yourself connected to everyone and you will immediately cease judgment. If you think about yourself connected to everyone and you discriminate against them, you are discriminating against yourself. When you give them hate, you are hating yourself. Because nobody who comes from a place of love gives hate. They just don't. It's not even possible. Nobody who respects themselves will ever disrespect somebody else. Not possible. Okay, someone who is validating themselves, really validates themselves to themselves, will not invalidate another. It just doesn't work. Okay, because if you do, then you're not valid. You are not valid to yourself either. All right. So instead of fixating on appearance, we need to start fixating on how vital. Good morning, Tammy. Instead of fixating on appearance, we need to fixate on how vital we are to one another. And stop thinking of ourselves as separate. We are vital to each other. And instead we hurt each other by being separate, by judging, by living through ego that says that they are less intelligent or less worthy of being my friend or being in my life, or they don't have enough money to hang out with me, or look at the way they live their lives. Look at the clothes that they're wearing. You know, look at the color of their skin. You know, people are cruel, and we forget that we are actually, by being cruel to someone else, you're actually being cruel to yourself. I remember during 9/11, because, you know, my ancestry, I'm from a country called Turkey. It's a Muslim country, okay? And I was sitting with a bunch of friends at work. These are friends of work that I have hung out with many times at that time, during that time. And we went out for drinks a few days after 9/11, and of course the subject came up. Everybody was talking about it. And somebody turned around to me in a drunken state and called me a sand nigger. And I know the N word is a horrible word. To me, it's a word. To me, words have no meaning unless I don't validate myself. So words have no meaning to me like that. But I just sort of looked at them and I thought, geez, how uneducated are you? Like, all of a sudden, a table full of friends became a table full of people that I just no longer wanted to associate with anymore. Not because they hurt my feelings. You can't hurt my feelings if I don't give any credibility to what you're saying, because I know who I am, right? I know who I am, and I know that you calling me something doesn't make me that thing. Whatever that thing is, I don't even know the meaning of that word, quite honestly. But people get caught up in these labels, right? They get caught up in the names that they call each other and how insulting these names mean. But if you know who you are, and if you know that everyone is vital to you, and if you know that you are a good person and you come from a place of love, people can call you anything that they want and it doesn't matter. They're only showing who they are. Okay? If someone says something horrible to you and labels you, they need to look in the mirror and think about, who are they really talking about? Because it's not you. If you know that you are not whatever it is, that thing that they've called you. To this day, I don't even know what that word means, but whatever. It's just some word, okay? It doesn't have value if I don't give it any value. So my challenge to all of you today is this. 1, stop viewing yourself as distant and apart from everyone else. Right? I think we've all known people that are racist, Joyanne. Like, it's ridiculous. So stop viewing yourself as distant and apart. Don't think about geography, color, race, culture. If you look at these people from a place of love instead of a place of fear, because only fear makes you do those things. If you look at these people from a place of love, you may not partake in their ideas and their customs and their cultures, and that's okay, right? You don't have to do everything that everybody else does, but learn to appreciate. Just appreciate what they are doing. You know, when you see someone praying to the east, instead of being, and having some judgment about that, right? Appreciate what they're doing. Validate what they're doing. It doesn't mean that you have to drop a rug on the floor and start praying to the east. Unless you choose to. Okay? 2, try to suspend your judgment of those that are less ambitious, different, less peaceful, less loving. As I've said, when you judge yourself, you are actually a part of the cancer. When you judge someone else, when you discriminate, when you hate, when you label, you are a part of the cancer. You are not a part of the treatment. Okay? So you need to understand that. So the next time you open your mouth or have a thought that is cruel towards someone else, understand that you're just a part of the cancer. You are not a part of the treatment. You are standing with ego. You are not standing with the universe, with source, with God, with spirit. Okay, you're not. So you've turned your back and you've decided to be a part of the problem rather than a part of the solution. Okay? 3, understand that we are citizens of this world. We are citizens of this world. So if we go back to what I was talking to before, through all the fluids in our body, there are zillions of life forms. And if those life forms went to war, this world would suffer and maybe be destroyed. So we are the life forms on a bigger scale. We are the life forms on this life form, which we call Earth. So the more that we the more that we fight each other, the more that we are destructive against one another, we're eventually going to destroy each other. I mean, these nuclear bombs, the atom bomb, whatever they're called. So someone sets one off because they're so powerful. What does that do in the end of the day? Like, at the end of the day, what does that accomplish? We're all dead. Like, yay, good for you. You know, put yourself in a shelter and you can just live under the ground for a while. For a while. There's some good quality of life living in some bunker. Okay? I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, except they are the part of the problem. We've got a leader in this world who sets off bombs into the planet. What is that about? Right? We're going to split this planet in two. And then what? You know, one day it's going to crack like a nut. And then we're in trouble. We're in big trouble because we're done. Right? So we have to start changing our way of thinking. And the beautiful thing about this is the 100th monkey syndrome, right? The 100th monkey syndrome. If 100 monkeys do something, learn to do something in a certain way, that whole species of monkey will start to change. And they will all begin to do it in that way as well. Okay, look up the 100th monkey syndrome. It's a wonderful, amazing scientific discovery. Okay, so how many humans would it take? How many humans would it take to change the way that we are? How many humans will it take to change the way that we are, that we think, that we can be part of a unity consciousness that will then change everyone? Right? The way that everyone thinks. I don't think we have to change everyone. According to the 100th monkey syndrome, we only have to change a percentage. Right? Good morning, James. We only have to change a percentage. So what would that percentage be? You know, what do we think that percentage would be, that if we could awaken that many people and get them thinking in the right way as a unity consciousness out of a place of love, and thinking of us all as united instead of separate, how many of us would it take to change us all? I don't know. I think it's a kind of an interesting thing, and I'm up for the challenge. I don't know if you guys are, but I am totally up for that challenge. All right, I am totally up for that challenge to start awakening people, to start getting people thinking in the right way, because we've all been thinking ass backwards for so many, many years now. We need to turn it around, or else we're all doomed at some point. We just can't keep going the way we're going. Okay? So, just giving that some thought. And that's the end of my live today. And I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. But, you know, share your thoughts. Share the video. Comment. You know, send some questions. Think about this today. You could always comment later and just sort of tell me, like, you know, notice what changes you can make and how many would it be. That's why we've all been brought to this company. Yeah. Right? We are changing consciousness. It's a wonderful tribe, HempWorks. That's a company that I work with, that I distribute some of their products, the CBD product, and Joyanne is there as well. And it's true. This is about changing consciousness. It's about changing the way that people think and the way that people are, right? And if we could change that, it's like the cells in our body. If those cells fight against each other, it will destroy the body. And if we fight against each other, we are going to destroy humanity. So we need to change that up. Okay, we need to be part of the solution, part of the treatment, not a part of the cancer, not a part of the problem. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning and having my coffee. I'm having my CBD coffee, mascara, lip gloss, CBD oil. I'm ready. Did my live. I'm all good. Ready for the day. So talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Love you. Remember to hug yourselves. Find something you love about yourself today. Go look in the mirror. Go find something you love about yourself today and just be grateful for it. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Look at my reflection in the mirror I see. That is not the person who lives inside of me. Done with all the fear and doubts, the negativity. I'm shedding all the crap right now. I'm stepping into